All right. Hello, everyone. I don't know who's going to join me tonight, but I got two folks already. Please smash that like button. Let me know who's here. Let me know what you think throughout this. Everybody, tonight I have a special guest. I was looking through my catalog earlier, and I think this is Rom's fourth or fifth time here on my channel. So I think that's a testament to you know how much I enjoy talking with him and how much I enjoy his content. And yeah, he's agreed to come back and chop it up with me some more about a number of topics. Many of you know that I have a couple of channels. I got that idea from Uncle Rom, and Uncle Rom is a veteran writer, and I am a rookie to the writing game. I just self-published my first book towards the end of last year. I'm going to talk about that after me and Rom talk. You know, when you're in business, you have to market and advertise. But I'm going to play my intro, and then I'm going to bring Uncle Rom up. Let me make sure. Okay, I need all my titles displayed here. So, yep. Boom. I am a scientist, author, blogger, and content creator. Let me make sure I can see myself on YouTube, though Tony is there. So Tony is seeing us. Okay. And that is a good sign that Tony can see us. Okay. Just give me a second here. All right. The computer. I'm just opening up a new window here, keeping my fingers crossed that my unit plays well tonight. Okay, there we are. Okay, we are live. Just let me do one more thing here. All right, everybody, I'm going to play my intro. Go back. Just give me 1 second here, everybody. Okay, I need to be careful tonight. Okay, my computer's being a little fidgety tonight. Let me just go there. Okay, I'm going to click on this. All right, there we are. All right, let me play the intro, and then Rom's backstage. And so without further ado, I'm going to bring him up once I play the intro. I'll see you on the other side. Please smash that like button on the way in, no matter how long you stay with us tonight. So, where did this topic come from? So I'm going to admit that. Let me play that again. Give me a second here. So, where did this topic come from? So I'm going to admit that because of where I come from, see, in this world, we're all living in different worlds, and not everybody is privy to the same information.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So you mentioned using your 9-to-5 to support your dream. If someone wanted to just say screw it and walk away altogether, is there a certain amount you'd recommend having in the bank? 6 months, a year's worth of savings, or?
I mean, ideal a definite year.
A year.
Ideal definite year. One of the things, if you want to do that, unless if like say hypothetically you don't have that year, you might have a few months. you're going to have to downgrade greatly, sell a lot of stuff. You might have to move into a somewhat questionable neighborhood, or even move in with family if they will have you, but you're going to have to downgrade. And you got to look at it as temporary, because you're working on what you're doing. I would definitely suggest you have some money in the bank, hopefully. But say there's a situation where you lose your job or something, you're going to have that downgrade for a bit. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. A lot of people have downgraded just to upgrade again. There's no shame in that.
So, where did this topic come from? So I'm going to admit that because of where I come from, see, in this world, we're all living in different worlds, and not everybody is privy to the same information. Not everybody is privy to the same information. So that little snippet right there, as I said, I think this is Rom's 4th time to my channel. And in that particular instance, we were talking about pursuing your dream and launching your dream. And one of the things that Rom talks about is that having your purpose, having your dream, sometimes using the income from your job to start a business or to launch your dream. And many people, oftentimes after they've stacked enough cash from their job, they walk away to pursue their dream. But you have to be smart about that. And in that little snippet there, that's what me and Rom were talking about. But me and Rom, we're going to talk about a bunch of different things. We're going to end on money matters, or maybe something else. There's money matters, and then I think there's something from his deep thought I wanted to ask him about. But everybody, let me welcome back the field master, Uncle Rom Wills, and we're going to talk about a myriad of topics. Money being one of them, but also rising and transforming as per usual. Let me welcome back, and all of us, let's welcome back Rom Wills. Uncle Rom,
how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing fine. How you doing?
I'm good. Just getting used to the commute to the office, and the grind, and a different kind of grind. It's different than, there are some advantages to doing that. There are some disadvantages to doing that, but there are also some advantages and disadvantages to you working by yourself at home. So
okay,
it's a lifestyle change. So I'm just getting used to that again. Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. Well, Uncle Rom, I want to be mindful of the clock as always, and of your time and my time. So I appreciate you whenever you come. We're going to talk about some money matters and some macroeconomic things tonight. Everybody, by the way, I think I should give this disclaimer: we are not a fiduciary, so we're not rendering stock picks, or we're not giving financial advice. We might make some recommendations, but we're not rendering financial advice. But before we get into money matters and body game and all kinds of things, let's start with health, because they say health is wealth. So Uncle Rom, you shared with your audience and your subscribers a year or so ago, 2 years, that you suffered a stroke. And
oh yeah,
everybody's glad to see you still here and going back to the gym, and you're making your content. But I wanted to ask you, first of all, how are you doing these days?
I wouldn't say I'm 100%. I would say I'm in the 90% range. Still working on it, because I'm older and everything, and the stroke came as a surprise. It came as a total surprise. So it happens. And one of the things I would say for anyone, if it does happen, you feel any stroke symptoms, you feel like you're slowing down or your speech is changing, anything, head to the doctor right away. That's one thing they say, just go in right away. And the thing is, they tell you to go in right away. You know, you have trouble walking, anything. And that's not even just a stroke, anything. I'm not sure what a heart attack is, thankfully. But if you feel like your heart is feeling a certain way or any type of medical emergency, go in right away. Now, you want to like really take care of yourself and all, but it can hit at any time. So, you know, you just go in and just do your thing and just be prepared for it. It is what it is, you know, and I tell people I'm open with it because one of the things in talking about, I've had other people who've gone through similar experiences and everything. And, you know, they say, oh, okay, I went through the same thing. I went through the same thing, you know, going through rehabilitation because there was a period I couldn't walk. I couldn't really eat and still went through it. So I'm like, my thing is, if I went through it, you can go through it. Because anything could happen. Shoot, might not even be a medical emergency. It could be a car accident, something like that. Things happen. And this could be no matter what you're doing to stay healthy, no matter what you're doing. Because you know, it's funny. People would hit me up talking about, oh, eat this fruits and all of this. Oh, I was doing everything before the stroke. I was doing everything, you know, eating fruits, you know, smoothies, all of that. Taking some stuff, it still happens. So it is what it is. So, you know, what I would tell everybody is, you know, still keep up with stuff. And I have several people who check on me all the time. So, you know, it feels good.
Okay. So we're going to talk about this by the time the stream ends, and that's the concept of people living alone. We're seeing more of that today. When you experienced that, now you talk about your two pimps often on your channel. Were you by yourself? I mean, did you have your cell phone close by? Well, like, if just for someone who may experience that, how did you react to that situation?
Well, they were actually at the house. They were here. They were here, and my co-parent lives very close. I mean, she got here the same time the ambulance got here. So, I mean, and she did a lot for me. I mean, yeah, we're not married anymore, but she still does a lot. She still checks on me and stuff. She's still making sure I'm okay. So, you know, and then a few other young ladies and stuff I'm cool with. They were checking on me, seeing out what was up. And like I said, and it was one lady friend, I ain't gonna mention who her name is, but she went through something. It wasn't similar, but it was like something where she was living. So she went through some stuff. So it's like I said, anybody can go through something, and you know, you just have to be prepared. You know, if it happens, it happens. As soon as you feel something, just call the hospital. Call somebody right away.
Okay. Yeah, it's important. Yeah, to have people you can call. It's important, you know, when you live by yourself to, you know, for someone to have your key. I remember my dad. I'll keep this vague, but I remember he was living by himself, and I'll just say that he said that something could happen to him, and no one would find him until later. I'm being discreet here, but when you live alone, you realize the significance of that. Something could happen to you in the middle.
Yeah, I would say anybody who lives alone, as long as you have somebody who checks on you, it could be if you're a man, it could be a lady. If you're a lady, it could be a man, family member, whatever. Somebody who might call in and say, hey, you doing all good? You doing good? Whatever, especially some older people. I had a woman who was like a mother to me, and her own family, they didn't know anything had happened to her for maybe a day or two, you know, and they were checking on her regularly. They were going in regularly. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. I would strongly recommend that for anybody who technically lives alone. Have some people, have some family, whatever, come in. You know, just reach out, and that's regardless of your age or whatever. That is regardless of who you are, how everything going. You know, so if somebody just to text you or something, just say, hey, what's up? You know.
Yeah.
So that's very important.
Now, last question on health. I mean, do you have any recommendations? I mean, I'm pretty big on telling, especially men, go get checked regularly. Our bodies change every decade. Do you have any thoughts on it?
Get checked. Live as healthy a lifestyle as possible. Just do what you got to do. You might have to take some pills or something. Eat well, eat healthy and everything. And like I said, you can still be doing all that, something happened, but you want to lessen it. Because one of the things, when I had the stroke, one of the things I had the doctors and physical therapists tell me, they said it was good that I stayed working out. They could tell I would come back from, like I said, there was a period I couldn't walk, but they could look at me and say, you know, you'll be walking again. You'll be doing all this. It's good that you stay in generally good shape. You'll be okay. So it wasn't like trust me, there's some people, some hit them and they not walking again. There's some people, they might not be able to eat again. So, you know, you want to still just stay in generally good shape no matter what. And like I said, sometimes it could be maybe an accident. You could maybe get in a bad car accident or something, or a bad fall. It could be anything, but still just stay in shape. Just be preventive as best as possible. Some can still happen, but you still want to be, you still want to live a healthy lifestyle no matter what.
Okay. So your level of fitness can impact how well you bounce back from something like this.
Yes. And that's really what helped me. That's really what helped me. It helped me big time.
Okay. Well, let's transition over to a little bit of YouTubing, and then we'll hit the money matters at the end. So you're known most for the body game, working out, your car videos involving guy gets girl, but arguably your most important channels are the Money Matters and the Deep Thought channels. Can you say a few words to those who are unfamiliar with you about why you spun off and started Money Matters and Deep Thought, or your other channels?
Well, Money Matters, there's so many guys saying, oh, you need money to get women, or you need money. So I started that because, I can talk about man gets woman, and, you know, that arguably is the most popular because they even had another channel about women gets men and what they need to do. But they had too many men like commenting on that channel like it was a men's channel. I was like, okay, I'm going to have to stop this one. But, you know, when I started the Money channel, let's just be real. Money isn't everything, but it's up there with oxygen. And one of the things I can actually say I've done is go from like minimum wage to 6 figures. And I've done that. And I've made money and making money right now. And, you know, let's just be real. We need money out here, especially in this time of layoffs and everything, both government layoffs, private layoffs, stores closing, like stores that have been around longer than either one of us have been alive or closing. I just found out another store is closing all of their shops today. So I was just like, oh, okay. All right. So we have to make money out here. And, you know, in the Deep Thought, I just like to philosophize. I like to philosophize anyway. I mean, if you left it up to me, that's all I would do. Just philosophize, just get guys, men and women thinking about whatever. So those channels, they aren't as popular. And it's interesting about the money thing because, you know, we still had to manage money. You could have a little bit of money and still manage it well. Like I said, I wasn't making that much, you know. I wasn't making that much money, but still could manage it well and everything. You know, it's not about how much money you make. You could be minimum wage, but if you manage it well, you can have a big savings and you can use that money to get to a higher level. You could start a business with your savings. So you want to manage it. And just think in deep thought. You just want to think, period. You want to think out here. See, one of the problems out here, the theys, and when I say theys, I mean powerful people in economics, finance, religion, politics. They really don't want people to think. They want people to follow. But one of the most important, and that's what unfortunately most people do. But if you are a person who's thinking, who's questioning things, everything, that can keep you out of trouble. You can see the traps already. You're not fenced in. So that's the important thing there. It's the one channel where I don't mind a difference of opinion as long as it is respectful. Because sometimes you get some people on there, they giving a difference of opinion, but it's not respectful. I don't put up with that. I got zero tolerance for that. Mm-hmm. But as long as they respectful, I'm like, oh, okay. Give me something to think and show that they've been thinking. If they just say, no, I just don't agree. Okay, tell me why you don't agree. Show that you're thinking about it. That's all I'm asking.
Okay. So you just described, your men's channel, the man gets woman thing. That's obviously the most lucrative for numerous people. You know, men's channels get a bad rap, but when I've watched you, it seems like the intent is just understanding how to navigate the world in multiple areas. You know, being your best physical self, understanding social class in dating and mating, understanding game. You just made a video about women think men are gameless. Understanding how to maneuver the streets and controlling your money and your inner self. That's what it's about, right? It's not about, and the theys don't necessarily want men to understand what's going on. Is that a fair assertion, or?
You could say that, because you get somebody someday is always benefiting from everything happening out here. There's several different types of days, and somebody's always benefiting from it. You know, it could be, some days benefiting from like men and women not being together, because then that's two households spending money. That's two households spending money, not one household, but two households spending money. So that was a big thing right there. People talk about feminism, but see, once women, left the house and everything, all of a sudden they still got to get a home. They still got to get cars, bank accounts, everything. They spending money, so you could argue that. And then, of course, now you have a situation where you get some men, some groups, some days, they saying, well, hold up, we need babies out here now. So, it's different. Like when I say days, it's different groups, and these groups ain't all on the same page. Some of these groups are straight up fighting each other. That's one thing to remember. But one of my main things with the men's channel is, let's just be real. We want women. And I'm just saying what to do. Like when I had my stroke, my co-parent was doing a lot for me. Some other ladies were calling up help and saying, hey, Rom, what can we do for you? So, it's, you still need that. Men still need women. Women still need men. And, you're not just, when you're talking about man gets woman, it's not just for sex. I've made plenty of money off of just some insights or some advice from some women. I've talked about, don't try to have sex with every single woman. You don't want to do that. Sometimes there's some women who gave me some great business advice. They put some money in my pockets, or they've given me some insight about women. I've had women give me some insight. You know, one woman give me some insight, and I was able to get 4 other women. You know, it's so much there because they simply see stuff on a bigger basis. And like it or not, like half the world is women. You want, as a man, you still got to navigate what they're doing. You know, I've sold stuff to, like, books and everything to women. Now, what if I didn't understand them? I wouldn't be able to sell stuff to them. So it's so much to it. You know, it goes beyond sex. And yeah, of course, we want to have sex and everything else. But then you want to be really thinking about, okay, what else can I get from this woman? There's so many things, so many factors.
Okay. I think one of the most powerful things that your first relationship being with yourself, that's a powerful piece of guidance right there. And some of us need constant reminders of that one lesson right there. Did someone tell you that, or did you have that epiphany yourself one day when you were meditating?
Well, you know what? If you really think about it, a lot of people don't take care of themselves. It wasn't a meditation. It was just something to see. I mean, you know, yeah, I can say I've been with quite a few women, but, you know, some of the greatest things that I've accomplished in life, I was by myself, especially younger, you know. Yeah, break up with somebody, I wouldn't jump on another woman right away. I would just be by myself and learning some things, you know, taking care of some things. I mean, that's just the thing. And you think about it, you with yourself 24/7 anyway. Even when you in a relationship, you with yourself all the time. Even if you living with a woman, whether you like in a cohabiting or married to that woman, there's still some time you two taking to yourself. Your man still has to take care of themselves. You got a lot of men out here not taking care of themselves. So they have to take care of themselves first. And really, honestly, I would tell women the same thing. Their main relationship is with themselves. But I'm on the men's channel, so I'm focusing on that. And too many men aren't taking care of themselves. I mean, that's part of body game too. You know, taking care of their own health and everything, taking care of the things that they want to do.
Okay. Okay. All right. So your latest. So one of Rom, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Rom?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay. I had the. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, I had the spinning circle thing going on. All right. One of the things people really enjoy are the car videos. You're leaving the gym, you know, you're just letting it rip. And there was one you did recently about the Mr. Right cycle that was in your car. First of all, how do you do that when you're driving? Because you focus on the road and you got these thoughts coming through. How do you do that?
It just flows when I'm driving. It just flows. It's like I'm in a car talking with someone. You know, I have my cell phone like you know, perched on my rear view mirror and everything, you know, purposely. I ain't blocking it out for anybody who wants to know. I can still see in the back. It's just a piece I put on my rear view mirror. And I just talk. It is just like, it flows just like I'm talking with somebody, just, you know, just driving. And it just flows. It purposely flows. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Once I give you a title, that's it. I don't have like a piece of paper or anything like that to look at, you know? And I'm flowing just like I'm Uncle Ron. I'm just like, your favorite uncle or something, just talking. And I think that's why a lot of people like it. That's why sometimes I might make a comment about something. Like one of my favorite comments is like about the police always being around. Like the police in my area, we don't have a lot of crime. So the police, they don't have nothing better to do than to stop you for speeding. That's a good thing when there's not a lot of crime. But then I always had to pay attention to speeding. In fact, I actually got stopped by a cop one time. I was doing a video because he thought I was like watching something. I was like, oh, no, I was doing a video. But, it is what it is.
Okay. So the Mr. Right cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Are you observing that that's happening? That there are
man, that's been happening, man. That's been happening. It was a woman who broke that down to me. Seriously, that's why I say just know some women. It's a woman, may she rest in peace. She broke it down. She actually broke it down in a book she wrote. She wrote years ago. May she rest in peace, though. I don't know if she wants her state wants her name called, but she had broke that down because you get some women, they have Mr. Right. They got the perfect guy. Now the relationship ain't perfect, but no relationships are perfect. Because we all human beings. Ain't name one of us, I got put in that like Southern Virginia thing. Name one of us walk on water, right? And so it's not going to be perfect, but then they get one of their like single friends get in their ear saying, oh, girl, you can do better. And they'll go for somebody they think is cuter or finer or whatever, and then get dogged and then want that guy back. And there's some guys that can say that they dealt with some women and, the woman rolled on thinking she's going to do better. Then all of a sudden the woman calling back or sending him a text talking about, hey, big head, trying to holler at him. And it's a vicious cycle. Sometimes, like a few times, a man might take her back, but then the man might run into a woman who's a bit smarter. So,
Yeah. Well, you mentioned in the video the very popular Pop the Balloon show. And that show, it's entertaining. It is a little mind numbing to watch, to see what appear to be productive guys on the up and up, just thrown away because the way their jeans fit or the way their shirt looks. Do you think that's real, or do you think it's a parody, or do you think it's
real? It's real. See, women, you know what? It was interesting because there was a woman on there one time, right? And she said it best. She said she don't be following the rest of those women. Some of those women be popping a balloon because another woman popped a balloon. And I just look at it. I say, first time I looked at it, I said, these women are fodder for a demon lover. They'll get some guy who will just dog them out because it's stupid. Now, if the women say, I actually respect it if the women say, look, they're just not physically attracted to the man. I can respect that. Or the man says some, they got some difference in character or what they like. I can respect that. But then when the women's saying, oh, well, he ain't tall enough, even though the dude be like 6'3". They be like, oh, I want somebody 6'8". Or the guy's pants, which he can change, ain't right. And it's like, come on now. It's like, first of all, you asking a lot. Like sometimes those women be having kids on there, everything. Ain't nobody perfect out here. Like a better show, in my opinion, or a better way to do it is have some event or something like that where men and women can talk to each other. Because we don't have time for this quickie. You can't determine anything in a few seconds. And I would just say that just in general. You cannot determine it. Because there may be some men losing out on some good women because the woman ain't dressed right or looking right in that few seconds. We got to get past that. There's a lot of men and women who are single because of that quick seconds. And to me, in this time when that's a major issue, men and women have to like take longer to get to know each other.
Okay.
Now, me, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'll check it out, but it's not even for entertainment. I'd be like serious watching it or something. I'd be like, hold up, this ain't working. And then they got a whole bunch of other balloon pop shows. And to me, it's not really working. You know, if a man and woman has to get to know each other. You know, they might not like each other when the first time, you know, on that first meeting, but they get to know each other. Like, oh, wait a minute, we click. And I've actually had some women I've dealt with in life. They didn't like me at first. They told me they didn't like me at first. Then they got to know me. It's like, oh, you all right.
Okay. Hey, if you all have questions for Uncle Rom, you know, if you want to ask them during the show, you're welcome to do so. Super chats are welcome. And yeah, those are very welcome. Okay, well, let's use social class to transition into money matters. One of the things I've appreciated most about your content is when you touch on social class, because I think a lot of people sleep on that. They don't understand what it is or the importance of it. And now, I mean, you mentioned you watched the balloon pop show. There are a lot of, you know, arguments over, you know, 1% men and the talented 10th and, you know, not settling and going 50-50 and eating at the Cheesecake Factory, et cetera. I think the perception is that once you make over a certain amount of money, all of your problems will be over. Okay. But for the top 10 to 20% people, do they still need to manage their money?
Man, they probably, I would just say this, the top people, they need to manage their money even better. Because we all have heard stories about people winning the lottery or getting a lot of money and then they broke again. They got more money to manage. See, money is a tool. Just because you got money, you got to look at it as a tool. And that's all it is. And it don't mean you're a better human being or anything. It's a tool. Now, some people just have more tools than the other people, but it's a tool. It don't do anything with your character, right? It don't do anything with your character, or, you know, it might give you more opening as to what type of people you have access to. But even then, it's still a tool. And see, people, they can't let that go to their heads. Now, even though I'm saying that, you know, we still get different social classes, and, you know, there is going to be a difference between somebody who's upper class making 6 figures versus somebody who's lower class and they just barely they getting like minimum wage on working 12 hours a week. There's still going to be some differences, but that's one of access. But it still come down to character. Character, that's the thing, you know? So people, you know, even though they got some money and everything, and yes, social class does make a difference, it still come down to who you have the character with. Now, when you talk about money management, that is important that both people are on the same page. Like if you have somebody who's making a lot of money and they want to manage their money, they're good with spending it and, you know, saving it and everything, investing, they're going to have some trouble with somebody who just want to spend it.
Yeah. Well, I think the perception or a perception, now I don't know what it's like in other ethnic groups and communities, but in ours, well, 6 figures was okay, I make six figures now. Shout out to Salchi. Salchi, he's pretty big on saying, okay, well now the new 100K is 150K or 200K. But I think the perception is that, okay, once you're in this bracket, you've arrived. Okay.
Nah, you know what? I'm gonna be real. All that is, if you 100, 150K, 200K, nowadays you middle class. You ain't arrived. If you make $1 million, you still ain't arrived, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. You still have to do whatever you're doing to make money. When you talking about you arrived, where you arrived at? You ain't arrived nowhere. It was like, okay, yeah, you making more money. And I ain't gonna say more money, more problems, but you still have to manage it. You got more money, you got to manage it, because then you got more taxes to pay. You still got more taxes to pay. You still got to be concerned about not going crazy getting some like real expensive car or something. So it's still money management. You still got to manage it. You still got to spend it well. You still need to have a savings, and you probably have to have, you get that big house, then you got to have money you got to have like funds to fix the house or something,
Yeah.
I remember down in the DC area, the Fort Washington area, that's a supposedly expensive area out in PG County, Maryland. And I remember a contractor saying, yeah, they got those big houses, but they don't have furniture in it. Or if they have a roof leak, they can't fix it. But they got the big house. You still got to do something. You still got to manage it. Now, I don't care how much money you making. You can be making $1 billion. You still got to manage it. There's billionaires out there who've lost their money. In fact, it's been said that a millionaire will go bankrupt 3 times. So you still got to take care of everything.
Yeah. Well, before we move on from this, I've heard some things, I'm sure you have too, but there's also the sentiment that, well, once I make so much, I don't have to worry about how much it costs, because I can just go get it. Okay. I don't have to worry about. I'm sure you've heard some derivative of that. I always wanted to make so much that, if I wanted something,
those people don't make that much. Those people don't make that much. Look, I have no problem saying I'm 6 figures, but I still got to pay attention to how I spend the money. Anybody 6 figures still paying attention. They pay attention more. That's probably part of the reason why they got the 6 figures anyway. Because you got to think about all that you're doing. You got to think about how you making the money, everything. And then you got more taxes. Indeed, you making more money, you probably got to think about more tax write-offs. Because Uncle Sam will get his cut. And see, people saying that, and it wouldn't be so bad if they said that and then actually worked to make that money. But shoot, there's plenty of people, there's plenty of stuff you still got to deal with. Because like I said, money's a tool. And there's a millionaire men out there. They still have some trouble with some women. And in fact, there's a lot of people who make a lot of money. You don't even know it, because they know if they show they making money, they making themselves some targets and stuff. People might try to rob them or whatever. In fact, I know of some people who are making big money. Not just 6 figures, maybe $500,000 and up. But they live ordinary. You wouldn't be able to tell they making the money, because they understand, hey, this is just a tool.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to think about it. It's interesting, because you have a lot. And hold up, let me just say something about that, because you get some people saying, oh, if I make this much money, I'll be all right and everything. Okay, what are you doing to make it? Like you got these guys out here who are always saying, I'm gonna make all this money, get all these women. Okay, so what are you doing to make money then? If you really feel that's the case, what are you doing to make money? Because you'll find you really don't. Because then you'll find out that woman, she just love you for your inner beauty, the beauty of the money in your pockets. And so you just run into something else. It ain't so much it brings more problems, but you start seeing some other stuff. Because, okay, like say somebody making 6 figures, that's before taxes. After taxes, they might be good if they got 70,000. You know, if they working on a job or something, they getting a lot taken out. If they working on a business or something, shoot, they got to pay attention to everything. They still got to do some taxes.
Okay.
You know? So, I mean, it's, if you want to make a lot of money, you should. I mean, you should want to do something, but trust me, it might make some things easier, but you still got to pay attention. You still got to you still got to do, you still got to pay attention how you spending the money. You still have to manage it. And if you making more, you making 6 figures, that's just more money to manage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's see. So we're towards the back end here. You know what? I wrote down, because I do watch your Money Matters channel pretty regularly. And I did just list off some of the topics that you've covered recently. What piqued your interest? I mean, working for yourself, what piqued your interest on the mass layoffs taking place?
Well, everybody's talking about the government layoffs, but really, you have the government layoffs, but you also have the private industry layoffs. And, people talking, I don't feel like getting into the politics. I could actually do a politics channel, but I don't like getting into it. I don't feel like arguing with people over stuff. People, that gets people arguing, that in religion, right?
Yeah.
But if, we got the government layoffs, and, some people are saying, well, they should just get another job, but they laying off in private industry even more. They laying off in private industry. In fact, I remember a website was talking about different companies laying off people, different private companies. That was a long ass list. I ain't even finished the list. See, people got to realize a lot of stuff is happening out here. And then you got many of these department stores are closing. You have restaurants that are closing. It's a lot out there. And see, here's the thing. When people talk about the economy, I don't get into any of that complicated stuff that people get into, talking about this or that. I leave that for something else. When I look at the economy, I'm just looking at how much money people have to spend. Because that's what got me interested in the economy at first, when I was like, I was selling my books I was selling not just my books, but other books at this flea market. And I had to pay attention to the customers and what they were buying, because, well, that was putting food in my stomach. And really, when you look at any economy, I really first look at the people, say, okay, what are they spending? I'm concerned about the layoffs because, okay, say somebody get laid off, let's keep it out the political thing, a private company, right? Now, people might say, well, they can just get another job, but then something similar, like these tech layoffs, that's really hitting some people. They might not be able to work for somebody else. All of a sudden, they might not be able to pay for wherever they're living. They might not be able to pay for that luxury apartment anymore. Might not be able to pay for that car anymore. They might not be able to have like those 20 subscriptions that they have. Might not be able to eat at that fancy restaurant anymore. And what happens is, if they're not spending money, all of a sudden other people not making money. Like an example I always use, like you talk about some of these factories that close in some of these towns. Like some of these towns that are really doing poorly, they had a major factory close. Now you close the factory, okay, that's one thing. But then there might have been some stores making money off those people who worked in the factories. And then that's affecting them. Like say you have a major factory, it closes. Some people might see just the factory, but then there was a restaurant right next to it that used to serve lunch to all these people. All of a sudden they closing. And it was like, well, wait a minute, because they don't have the same customers. And then you have any business that served that restaurant, who's bringing food to that restaurant, who's bringing paper products to that restaurant. They don't have that same customer anymore. And if they get enough of those restaurants like that, then they're not making money. Because any layoff is I'm always looking at the mass effect of it. Because the economy is ultimately consumers. Because even say it's even in a small town, right? All right, and the business is going out. That actually affects the small government there. Because small governments, they make their money off of property taxes and sales taxes and stuff. All of a sudden, they're not making money either. It's a domino effect. And see, that's all I'm looking at. I'm just looking at the customers. People can do all the other complicated stuff. You know what? That's cool. I'm just looking at the customers. Customers not having money to spend money at a place. Like there's a major department store that is closing its location near me. A major department store. And, I used to work there. So I still go up there, visit some friends and everything. I was like, this store is awfully empty. Is y'all still open? It's like, they'd be like, yeah. They ain't saying yeah like they used to. And the whole issue was they didn't have people. You go in there, the place be empty. That's how you can tell. You go in some restaurants, you got plenty of space. Mm-hmm. Then you don't even have to have somebody sit you down. You say, hey, just go find a space. That's the thing. Because they don't have customers spending money there. There's been a few, like I live in an area that the average household income is 6 figures. But there's been quite a few places closing down. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. That's what I pay attention to, what the customers are doing. Now, there was a couple new restaurants that opened. I haven't been in one restaurant yet because they have plenty of people there. They have plenty of people there coming in for now. I'll just give them some time because that's usually because it's something new. I'll give them some time and then check it out. But then that's a lot of places. I've seen some restaurants they would open, and they just didn't get the customers. Customer. So when you get these layoffs, if they don't get another job, like these government layoffs, okay, but a lot of them might not be qualified to work in other places. They might not be able to work for that private company. Because that private company laying off people too.
Yeah.
Forget the talent and everything. So it becomes a domino effect. It affects something else. Like if I stop making money, the money I'm making, I can't live where I'm living. But then I'm not paying for the food or electricity or whatever. Or even going to get, or like say you get laid off from someplace, you no longer have to stop by that gas station to get gas because you ain't going to that place to work anymore.
Right.
That's affecting that place too. No matter what you do, because this economy, 70% of it is a consumer economy. So what can the consumers buy? If they don't have money, they can't buy anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we don't want to go political, but so many of these things are intermingled.
Everything's intermingled.
with politics and policy, government policy. And I
Oh,
think your video about society needing job creators, I think that video touched upon that because
oh yeah, you do. Well, let me say something about that. Um, People just need money. People need jobs. People need somebody to create jobs. Most jobs are created by small businesses. Most are created by small businesses. Seriously, at best, 20% of jobs have employees. Most of the like mom and pop stuff anyway. So if mom and pop's not spending, not creating jobs, that's hurting somebody else, or solopreneurs, like people creating their own thing. That's really most of it. And even then, it still got to be the right industry. It still got to be the right thing.
okay. Let's see. So we talked about money management. Money management is critical no matter how much you make. And that's a sore spot for some people. Budgeting is a bad word, but it's an important word. I thought another video segueing from that, I thought another video you made that was powerful was the get rich quick schemes, and then what it actually takes to actually build and accumulate your money, which comes down to money management.
Mm-hmm.
And also there are choices that you have to make when you're building something from scratch, because not all of us come from families where we're passed an inheritance.
Nah. Well, you know what? Let me say something about that get rich quick schemes. Whenever I see that, if it was so simple to do that, people would do that. Those are scams. You got to build up your stuff. I wish it was a case of you can just make money that easily. If that was that easily, we wouldn't have poor folk out here. All right. Usually those get rich quick schemes, the only person getting rich quick is the person offering it.
Yeah.
Seriously. That's the only person getting rich. So forget all that. You still got a budget. If you want to make money out here, I mean, if you're not working for somebody, you have to have some type of business that people want, and even then that could be hard, because trust me, I don't care what you're doing, you're competing with some people. You have to do a good job. It's just that simple. You have to provide a service or a product that people actually want, and then you have to do a good job. I don't care what it is. I don't care what you do. You can be cleaning carpets. You better do a great job. You can be shining shoes. You better do a great job. I don't care what it is. And people have to have that attitude. And even then, it still might be a while to really get rich. Businesses, it take a while. You good. If you get 6 figures, you're doing good. So don't even think about $1 million. If you do 6 figures, hey, you doing good. And even then, a lot of that's going into the business. When you're thinking about profit margins and everything, because if you have a business, especially if it's a product business, well, you got to buy other products, and no matter what, you got to buy stuff. Even if it's an online business, you have to buy packages and stuff like that. There's a lot you got to do with it, and it takes a while. You got to build customers, a customer base, everything. And all of that can take a while. Like I said, if you can get 6 figures just doing that, just with the business, you're doing well. And then you talking about what you can live on. Like I remember there was a bookstore that was in the Washington, D.C. area. It was a chain of bookstores. And I ain't going to call their name, but I remember the owners of it, they were like, they only took about 8% of what they were making from the store, because they had to get other books. They had to pay for their locations. they had to pay for all this other stuff. And that's usually any business. If it's a brick and mortar, now it's better if, you don't have to, you might not have to pay for all of that if you have an online business, but then you got to pay for boxes to ship things. You got to pay for shipping. You might have to pay for products you have to make. I mean, it's so much. Now, you ain't going to get rich quick. I mean, maybe, if you tap into the right customers or anything, boom.
Okay, I'm going to read this comment from Sal, and he says the majority of self-employed people earn less than 100K per year.
Yeah.
Typical small business revenues are less than 200K per year in revenues. Okay.
Yeah, no, he's correct. He is absolutely correct. It takes a lot. If you're making just enough, and look, if you're making just enough to like have a nice place to live and a nice car and be able to feed yourself, you're doing well. These people thinking about they going to get rich, they going to get a business and get rich. It takes a while. It ain't impossible, but it takes a lot. And that's why you get some of these businesses, they don't really get to where they're going to go until it might be a few years. And even then, they really have to build up something. And then you have to maintain it. You have to maintain it. Because one of the biggest things with any business is it's not even getting customers, it's keeping customers. That's the biggest thing, because I don't care what business you in, somebody else doing it. So I don't care what business you get into, somebody else is doing it. So you gotta maintain the customers. I remember somebody years ago was talking about a major phone company, and they were saying, you know what, most of the ads are not to get new customers, but to maintain the ones they got. So it's tough. Look, first of all, if you're gonna be in business, like one of the things I talked about, like when I first started this, just doing like social media and everything, I was sleeping on an air mattress, and I talked about that before. I was sleeping on an air mattress, even though I was working a full-time job. I was getting food from a dollar store sometime, even though I had a full-time job and doing this. It took a lot just to get to this point. And I mean, I still got a ways to go. I'm not a millionaire though.
Yeah. I like this comment from Atticus. Now he says sacrifices are a must. And I think
you got to.
I think under that video, I think I stated, you have to be careful about who's around you, whether it's a significant other or friends or family, because not everybody, some people will drain you. They won't. You have to make sure they support what you're doing. Or they're not going to get in the way of what you're doing.
Man, that's something. Seriously, that's why I say, that's something important. That goes into a mate. If you're a man, you trying to do something, you gotta have the right mate. You gotta have one of those women ain't trying to eat at like Cheesecake Factory. You might be getting that canned food from the dollar store or something. Y'all have sex or something, it'd probably be on that air mattress. Trust me, I got experience about that. Seriously, you gonna shoot the car you have. It might be that older car that you keep still running. Shoot, you might have to change the oil yourself or something. It is not easy. You gotta stick into it. And even when you start making money, you still can't just run out and go buy that luxury car or anything like that. You gotta have somebody who want to go through it. It's tough. Now I'm in a good position now, but shoot, I had to work to get to this position. I had to work, and it was like, it ain't easy. That's why I say those get rich quick things, man, please get off of that. You got to work. If it's any business, I don't care what you're doing, it takes a while. And I've even seen some millionaires on social media. They be interviewed or something. They say, nah, it took a while to get to this. It took a while. I don't care what they doing. I don't care what it is. Look, I'll tell you straight up, I ain't a millionaire. I got 6 figures, and even after taxes, but it took a while to get there. I ain't a millionaire, though. I tell people I can get them 6 figures. I can't get them to $1 million yet because I ain't got there. It takes a lot. Now, I see how I can get there, but I'm like, oh, okay, but I got to work hard. I got to do some extra stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough. People don't realize it. If you trying to really make some money, you know, you can like if I really want to make some money on social media, well, I got stuff outside of YouTube anyway. So I got to crank that up. But it's tough. It's tough. But one of the things I say with me is I have freedom. I have control over my life. So I can promote that. But don't think you're gonna be some millionaire driving some Lamborghini or something like that. Not right away. I ain't gonna say that's impossible, but not right away. You're gonna have to work.
Okay. 3 more from the Money Matters area. 2 are interrelated. One that really touched me was the it's never too late to launch your dream. Okay, yeah. I thought that was a powerful one. The last 2, I felt like these kind of fell under more of the investor individual who has money laying around, who wants to invest money in something. One was the hair care. No matter what's going on in the economy, that's never going away.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was powerful. But this last one, I thought was very, very powerful. And in my mind, it linked to something else. You made a video about pet care and pet products. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you said that's a recession proof industry and sector. And I'm going to link it to something. And because I see this, well, should I say that the rise of the She Economy article, I'm sure you were aware of this years ago when this dropped, that stated that by 2030, 40 to 50% of young women are going to be single and childless. Pets are holy. Pets are holy. Pets take the place. Pets are family members. In some instances, pets are children. Okay. Yeah. And to those watching this, I'm not saying this to be belittling. I'm not saying this to make fun of anybody. I'm just saying what I've observed. And I don't know what it's like in other cities, but in here in DC and Northern Virginia, the pet lifestyle is real.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna tell you what. That's why I say it, because where I live, I got a dog park out behind me. I'll be sitting in my office sometimes. Somebody's always walking by with their dog. And that's one thing. Is you can go in a rich neighborhood, you see some dogs. You get a poor neighborhood, you see some dogs. And we ain't even talking about cats and everything like that. Indeed, where I used to live, there was a pet colony. There was a wild feral cat colony, and there was a woman who would come by and feed them. And shoot, you go into grocery stores or anything, they got whole sections for just the pets. They got the whole section just for pets. So it's just like, people like pets. People like pets. And the irony I saw with that, though, there was some pet care company. They were actually having some business issues. It was like they were having some business issues. Now they were probably just not doing well. They probably just weren't doing good business or something, right? Because it's there. People people getting their dogs. Shoot, you get people. Shoot, if I'm on like IG or something, there's a lot of clips of like people breeding like dogs being born, everything like that. You know, cats nursing and stuff like that. People, they just like pets. They just like pets, you know? So that's the thing. That's the thing. And there's a few other things. Somebody in the comments talked about assisted living, like many people getting old and stuff. Yeah, you can invest in that too. I mean, I just threw out a few things. Only got so much to do in a week. I just threw out a few things. You know, older people like dogs. Shoot, you got people walking into like stores and stuff with regular dogs, and they even like you know, companion dogs or anything like that. So that's just dogs. We ain't talking about cats. We ain't talking about fish, birds, whatever. But people just like pets.
Yeah. People like pets. And again, I'm not doing this. I'm not saying this to belittle, you know, pets becoming family members, but the reality is they are family members. Pets are a lot of fun. Dogs are a lot of fun. They love on you. They keep you moving. But yeah, that's an industry that's not likely to go
this is
anywhere.
one industry. If people really look at it, like I talked about hair care, people got to get their hair cut. I was joking with my barber about that. She stays busy. She stays busy, and she got bigger plans too. You know, and the owner of that where she's working at, you know, he got a couple places. He don't just have one shop. You know, you know, one thing, if you jump in if you jump into businesses like that, you just have to do a good job. Now, some people might not want to get into one of those businesses. I'm like, if they got talent for it, I would say go for it. You know, it might not be like one of those recession-proof businesses, but they have talent for it. Go for it anyway. Because you never know. You never know. You know? So, you know, it could be you could invest in it. Whatever the case.
Okay. So Uncle Rom, we're kind of at the end here. Okay, so you're from the DC area.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've seen multiple presidents, congresses, mayors, overseas conflicts, recessions. Okay, so everybody, we're not rendering financial advice, recommendations, seeing all that for people living through this. What recommendations would you make? I mean, money management is a huge one.
Money management, and just you got to think long term, because no matter what's happening, because you know that's the thing, you still have to make money regardless of who's in office, what party's in office. You know, my view is they different they might be on the surface different parties, but you start looking like behind, like start looking at who's funding them, and you'll have corporations and stuff funding both sides and still making some money. Like there's a big talk about tariffs, but the previous administration was keeping some tariffs from the previous administration. And, you know, you start looking back, it's like, well, hold up. They were doing that, but then the news wasn't reporting on that. You know, I would say this. Think about yourself. Still make some money, because during the last major recession, I actually made more money. I didn't really notice it as much. I was actually getting paid more. In fact, I've never noticed a recession. People would say there was a recession during this particular year. I was like, I was making money. I was all right. You know, you still whatever, because the thing that still stays going no matter what happens politically is business, money. People still got to eat. People still got to live. They still got to sleep. They still got to eat. They still got to sleep. They still got to wear clothes. You know, start looking at stuff that people got to get, or services or products they need, no matter who's in office. So
Okay.
that's the focus. Focus on the business. It's like, yeah, the politics is one thing, but you still got to make money no matter what. And that's how you just get through it. You just say, okay, yeah, this person in office, whatever. I still got to open my shop the next day.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I think you just answered this question. Seeing multiple presidents and Congresses and mayors and recessions, does politics or whoever's in the White House, does that ever make you afraid at night?
No, not really. I don't lose sleep. I was like, oh, okay. I don't lose sleep now. I'll just say with this current administration, there's some people getting upset. I'm like, whatever. I was looking at it. I was like, well, money's still flowing the same way. That's all you got today. That's all you had to worry about. Now, yeah, you got some layoffs and all of that, but other administrations, they had layoffs, they had hiring freezes. I was supposed to work for the government back in the early 90s. And I couldn't work for them right away because of a hiring freeze in a particular agency. I can't say what the agency was. So there's always something. There's always something. But what you want to do, particularly with money, is manage your money no matter what, no matter what's going on. And even if you're working for somebody, you still want to save money. You still want to save a certain amount, at least at a very, very, very minimum, save at least a month's worth of your mortgage, rent, bill money, food money, and everything. That's at a very minimum. You want to go really longer than that. If you can even go longer, shoot, a year, shoot, couple years, whatever. If you got a good savings, you want to have that no matter what happens. If you in business, you want to build up a good business that people are going to need no matter what. You want to keep going. You know, somebody said in the comments, have an emergency fund. Yes, you want to have an emergency fund no matter what. Because it's like no matter what, it's always going to be something. Don't get caught up into it. All right? Don't get caught up into it, because you still got to take care of yourself no matter what. Because your household that's your business. That's your political realm right there. Your household. That's your business. That's your little nation. If you got a family, you got to be worried about that. You know, you got to be concerned with that. Be concerned with, like, I'm really big on business. I give having a career, working for somebody, some DAP, but have a little business. Even if you have a career or something like that, have a business on the side and just build that up. You know, build it up slowly. You don't have to build it up as fast since you got your career, but still have that to fall back on real quick. So it's like, no matter what, no matter who's in office or whatever, people, let's say you make donuts or something. People still gonna eat donuts. I don't care who in office. Shoot, I don't care who in office. I don't care what the political situation is. People still gonna eat. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you just had to keep going no matter what. Manage your money no matter what. And if you're working for somebody that can lay you off, like every day I always joke about having 1,000 jobs. I don't care what job it was. I walked in like it was my last day. And that's how I treated it. I treated it like a business. I was like, hey, I could be laid off at any time. I'm going to still do a great job. I'm going to still work the hardest, you know? But I'm like, nothing. Something could happen all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm.
Something could happen. I mean, I got fired from a job all of a sudden. I got fired from a job, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm the only one. I found out I was the only one actually doing work on the job. It was on some bullshit too. I ain't gonna call the name of the. It was a website. I ain't gonna call the name of it, but the owner, the CEO of it, he's more concerned about partying. He got mad at me because I didn't want to show up at parties. I was like, well, I had all this work to do. I don't have time to be going to parties.
I heard another story.
But even then, I was ready.
Yeah. I heard a similar story recently.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys see that's an issue. If you're working for anybody, I don't care who it is, I don't care how cool you are with them, have some backup. Have some backup. And even the best thing is to have your own business anyway and build that up. The best thing.
Okay. Well, Uncle Ron, we are near the end here. I need to eat something and get ready to go back in the office. But some other notable videos that you made involved. This one is always important. Men staying on mission. That's another one we can't hear enough. Staying focused on your dream.
Yeah.
There was one that stood out to me about becoming a better person. But that staying on your dream and staying on your mission thing, that as a man, that's powerful because there's so many things that can come along and knock you off your path.
Yeah.
If you're not
yeah. Now you got to. No matter what, if you got a dream, a mission, something that you really want to do, you got to stay on it. Because I wish the path to success was a straight line, but it's not. I don't care what you're trying to do. I don't care how talented you are. It's a squiggly ball. You're going to fall sometime. You're going to run into some walls, detours, whatever. Stick with it no matter what. No matter what. No matter what happens. Because I remember business-wise, there was a time I was only making a little bit of money. And I was like, oh, okay, I might have to work on this regular day job to keep money flowing. So no matter what it is, you keep going no matter what.
Yeah, and there's
no quick get rich quick. That's some bullshit right there. I wish it was. I don't care what you're doing. You stick with it, but then like say you start with something, you might have a couple customers. And that might be the case for a while, but then you get 3 customers, 4 customers, but then you get that one customer, right? That's where you might explode. Like I remember when I was like with my books, right? I did a book signing at this restaurant down in the Baltimore area. I had one woman get a signed copy of a book, one woman. And I'm at a restaurant and everything. They looked at it, liked it, one woman. But this woman, she had a house where she would have seminars and stuff. So I did a couple seminars and stuff. So that one $10 book led to several thousands of dollars with that one woman. Because all you need is that one tipping point. I would tell any business person, you stick with it no matter what. You never know. You get that one person who can hook you up with a lot more. You never know. You got to just stick with it no matter what. That one person who knows some other people, that one person who can they can punch you into some other groups or whatever.
That's right. I was going to say, yeah, and there are some stretches where you do have to support the business with your day job.
Mm-hmm.
There are some stretches where you have to do that.
Yeah, ain't no shame in that.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I've had 1,000 jobs and stuff. Because shoot, the last full-time job I had, I was working in retail. Despite education and everything, I was working in retail, but it was just a day job because I couldn't afford my publishing business wasn't making enough money. But then that's when I started doing YouTube stuff and everything. And I wasn't making money with it at first. So, just stuck with it. Now, shoot. Now I can say, hey, it's the core of my main thing now. But I had to stick with it. Like I said, at first I was sleeping on an air mattress. It was a good air mattress too. I had to replace it every now and then. That's one thing about air mattresses. But
Okay. Well, Uncle Rom, thank you for all that you do. I don't know if you saw it, but I did acknowledge you in the dedications for
I
my
saw
book.
it. I saw it. I still have to stop and read it and stuff, man. I got so much to do.
Yeah.
It looks like it'll be a great book. I saw the dedication. I appreciate that. And one of the things I want to do is really whatever I can do to help anybody else, even if it's just inspiring them to do something. Like, because my main thing, y'all see me doing videos, but my main thing is still publishing. I want every person I can inspire to write something. That's what I'm going to do. And trust me, one of the things I want to do in the future is have that bookstore where I'm just sitting back chilling, dispensing wisdom. That's my vision.
Okay.
Owning it in a shopping plaza or something that I own. So, it's going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully you'll have some of my books up in there. But but yeah, you are making a difference. I mean, I think people, when people think about men's spaces, they think about all the relationship stuff. But you're making a difference on all fronts.
Well, and you know what? That's my main thing. That's my main thing. Because to be real, I can talk about some bullshit and probably make more money. I can go in on women or something like that and make even more money. But, part of the thing is, my thing is, yes, I want to make money, but I want to make money doing something positive. But see, that'll last long term. See, I'm thinking the long term. Yeah, short term, I could go in on some women, talk some shit, but that's not that'll help me short term. But there's been a lot of content creators who've done some negative stuff and they'll make some money real quick. Then all of a sudden they gone. Their channels are snatched or something like that. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking something I could be doing 5 years from now, and that's empowering men to be their best selves.
Yeah.
And at some point, I can, figure out a way to get the women. I got some ideas about getting something just that the women going to look into. I got some ideas.
Okay. Well, before we wrap up, I'm going to do some quick advertising here myself, everybody. This is my book, The Engineers of Western New York Basketball Story. Just briefly, it looks like it's just about basketball. That's the arena for this book. But since Rom is here, it's also a manhood journey, and it's about finding your way in the world. And that's something I think that's near and dear to both of our hearts, because there are a lot of young men today who are looking for something and who don't have dads or someone there to help them through those early stages of their lives. In any case, I'm selling signed copies right here from my own operation. The hardcover is going for $25, and the paperback is going for $22. For my YouTube subs and viewers, if you're watching this, just use any of those payment methods there in the ticker, but make sure you send me your mailing address so I will know where to send it. This is available on Amazon as well for a little bit more, so that choice is up to you. But yeah, if you're interested, just reach out to me, send me your mailing information, and I will send you a copy, as I've done to some other individuals here in the YouTube streets. So with that, Uncle Rom, do you have any more comments or stories or words of wisdom?
No story. Oh no, I got tons of stories, but we'll be on here another few hours. But I would just say for everybody listening, whatever your dream is, whatever your talents are, we need them more than ever, especially in the times coming, because one of the biggest problems that we have out here, a lot of people, they really not doing what they are talented in doing. And even though I've talked about like recession proof stuff, don't even worry about that. Just worry about what you can do. What you can do. Whatever business that idea that you have, whatever plan that you have, go ahead and do it. And be prepared to work hard for it. Don't think you're not going to get rich quick. In fact, focus more on just doing a great job. The money will come. The money will come. And make sure you have people around you who are truly supportive, who are not going to drain you, who believe in your dream. If they don't believe in your dream, they're no good for you. So just keep going no matter what. It took me a while to get to this point, but even when I was talking about having that stroke at we were talking about that earlier. I didn't have any problems. I didn't miss a single bill, a single payment. Wow. Because I had that emergency fund. I had money put away already. So it's like, just keep going no matter what happens, whatever. Follow that dream. That's what we need. We need people out here who are going to do whatever. Don't worry about what's happening politically, socially, whatever. Worry about whatever your vision is. And you got this. You got this. All right. That's all I got to say.
All right, everyone. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on the playback and you want to donate something to the channel, my Cash App and PayPal are below in the description box. And again, if you want a copy of my book, reach out. And with that, I'm going to wrap this up. So everyone, as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Keep rising and transforming.
Keep rising and transforming. All right, John.
Yeah, I'll talk to you the next time. Hey, everybody, next week I have Aaron Clary. So we're going to talk about his book, A World Without Men. So we're going to talk about that next week. So it's a good read. So have a good night, everyone. I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.
All right, peace and blessings, everybody.